What's up YouTube, it's JackalGoldKick, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the origins of the dog, the Creepypasta King. So I've never done a video really explaining the origins of that character, how I came up with it, how it manifested and came to be. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, for those that haven't seen these videos, I'll put a playlist in the description. Way back in the day, I used to have this character called the dog, the Creepypasta King. It would be these short, like 50-second, 1 minute, maybe 2 minute videos where I would just go kind of crazy, over the top, talk about how I'm the king of creepypastas and I own all this land and I'm rich and I'm this and that. And I would go off on certain people and certain things. I go off on certain creepypastas. I call out certain rappers to rap battles like the Joker and Passionate MC. And it was just like this character thing. And I want to talk about how I created that character and how it even existed. So how that character came to be was a combination of two things: my obsession with creepypastas and then my obsession with troll rap. Back in the 2010s, when I was discovering the internet and YouTube and going into making my YouTube channel, I discovered creepypastas. Now, how I discovered creepypastas was through somebody I knew on Xbox. They introduced me to a video called Sonic.Exe gameplay from Some Ordinary Gamers. That was my introduction to creepypastas, and when I discovered that and started looking into that, I was obsessed. And then troll rap, I remember the first troll rapper I found was 3Pac, and I remember the stuff he was doing. Rest in peace to him, he's dead unfortunately. I remember looking into him and seeing all his Eminem disses and disses to 2 Chainz, just all the crazy stuff he was doing. And then I remember finding a whole bunch of other troll rappers like 75 Cent and 3 Chainz, the original 3 Chainz, not the new one that Drew had reviewed. And Little Meow Meow, who went by different names. I worked with him. Now I have a troll rap history past I'm going to talk about as well in another video that's going to be kind of a little similar to this one, but we're going to focus on the origins of the dog Creepypasta King for this video. So that's how I found troll rap and creepypastas. And in that time period, I remember when I made the character, I was watching some video about something to do with creepypastas, and it was like a video about, I think, this murders that happened where it was about these girls that wanted to kill their friend so they could meet Slender Man. And I remember on that day, it was like very early in the morning because that's when I had the night owl schedule like crazy. And this is when I was a teenager living at the trailer, the area you saw at the beginning of my YouTube channel. And I thought of this character, the dog, the Creepypasta King. And it was a combination. Basically what it was is I took my obsession with creepypastas, my obsession with troll rap, and then also my fascination, obsession with the 3Pac stuff. Because I was really into the troll rap, I was really into creepypastas. And 3Pac had a character he would play in like blog type videos where he would just be very over the top, troll-like, and he would carry himself a certain way. So it was like a combination of what I saw with that, troll rap and creepypastas, and I combined all that into this character with this gold mask I had, and I called it the dog, the Creepypasta King. And I did that for a while, for a few years at the trailer. So that's how that character was created. Another thing I think made me create the character and why it existed is it was a way for me to deal with trauma and just a shitty life. Because at that time period, when I was obsessed with creepypastas and troll rap, I was not really in a good place. That trailer I lived at sucked. Like, I feel like there was something, I don't know if there was something sinister or haunting that trailer, but there was just something wrong with that place. Like, that place just felt depressing and nothing but bad came from that place. I don't know, something was off with that place, to be honest with you. And that's where I developed my porn addiction, unfortunately, was a trailer. But not only going through that at that trailer, but I was around my dad, who was not a good father figure, who was not a good role model, not a good person to be around. He was bipolar. He just could mentally abuse you, and he just wasn't a good person to be around. So I was dealing with that. I dropped out of school around that time. I was in the trailer a lot, just in a very bad lifestyle. And I feel like the creepypastas and troll rap really got me out of that shit. That's why I was so fascinated with it, because it was a way for me to escape reality and escape the position I was in by existing in this world of creepypastas and troll rap. And that is also another reason why I created the dog, the Creepypasta King, because it was created from the obsession of creepypasta and troll rap. So I created the dog, the Creepypasta King, and that was another way of dealing with the shitty situation I was in. That was a way for me to block out the trauma and block out all the crap that was going on around me. that was a way for me to deal with it. You know, being that character, making those videos, just being very over the top. And, you know, that character had some success. Some of the videos did really well. That character actually ended up being in some cringe compilations too. There's a few cringe compilations out there that have it. Some of it were deleted because I was in a beef. And this guy, I think, still has issues with me. His name is Tyrone Legstrong. He's a guy that does cringe compilations. But, you know, the reality of the dog Creepypasta King, it was a fun character to do. It was awesome to do. Made some really good videos with it. And it was just really cool. And it's a unique thing because, you know, there was no such thing as a king of creepypasta. There was no such thing as a creepypasta king. You know, there still really isn't. I really created something different. You know, I took elements of 3POC and troll rap and creepypastas and then combined it into this character, this person that presented themselves as the king of creepypastas, the absolute best, and just viewed himself in a lot of ways as like the greatest and kind of like this, you know, omnipresent, godlike being, if that makes sense. Not that I was pretending to be God or wanted to be God, not like that, but hopefully people get where I'm coming from with sort of like the aspect of the character. And I haven't done the character in a very long time. The last time I done the character was, I did like a few YouTube shorts of it I included him in a collaboration with TG Venom and Spirited21, but it just isn't the same for me with the Creepypasta King character, which is why I don't think I do it as much anymore, because my obsession with creepypastas have kind of died down. I got more into creepy, true scary stories, and troll rap is cool, but unfortunately 3POC died, and that kind of hurt a lot of troll rap, and a lot of people stopped doing troll rap. So the character isn't exactly the same as it used to be for me to do, but I still keep the videos up because it's a moment in history. And, you know, it was important because, you know, it was at that time period, like I said, a shitty time period. I was young, I was in a bad situation, and it was just one of those ways for me to deal with trauma. And I think it was a good way to deal with it because it was better than killing myself or, you know, going and harming other people because of my circumstances. And, you know, yeah, playlist in the description if you haven't seen any of those videos. I think I made something pretty legendary. You know, I think that's one of the best things I made on YouTube, and just one of the coolest things I made. Because another thing that made me want to make this video is I saw some feature on YouTube that was introduced to me where you can actually check out videos that use your content or something like that. And I seen a reaction from like 2016. I never even knew about this. Couple was reacting to a cringe compilation. I was the last video on there, and they were mostly laughing at my character. You know, it was pretty cool. You know. And another thing that was crazy about the dog Creepypasta King, and I'm not making this up, you can go on the very first dog video I made. There was a woman that admitted on my first dog video that she got off to my dog video, and in a sexual way, in a masturbation type way. So that was something else that was in connection to my dog character. So yeah, that's the origins of my character, the dog Creepypasta King. It was cool to do, you know. I wouldn't be opposed to returning to it if I ever wanted to or thought of an idea or something. Now, in terms of the mask for the character, I think how I got the mask was back when I went trick-or-treating on Halloween, and, you know, my parents and family would go to stores and get masks and stuff. I think that's how the mask was gotten. It was bought at one of those places or some place that had Halloween costumes you'd wear for that stuff. And I think that's how the mask was found, because I have another mask like the gold skeleton mask where it's a silver one. Then I had a new one recently that was red because I had a concept for a different channel that I, at the end of the day, didn't really want to stick with like I thought I would. But yeah, that's it for this video. Peace out.